I've got one big issue with this response to a video where I talked about Daggerheart has no initiative, and you might like that compared to D&D that has pretty strict initiative. And my problem isn't that they disagreed with that. My problem is in this weird assumption that they make when they say table hogs will and always will try and control the narrative. And then it cuts it off, but they go on to say basically something to the effect of like, that's not the type of personality I want to worry about managing at my table. And I have so many thoughts on this, but my main one is that is a really sort of oddly antisocial assumption to have about the people who play this game. This idea that any player who might have more ideas to share, more plans to contribute to the party when they run into a problem, just more excitement to express themselves in the game is somehow this tyrant who is going to ruin the game or take away everybody else's fun. That seems bizarre to me. Like, do you know how much I wish I had more players that were like that? I wish I had more players that like almost could not wait to share the things that were going on in their head about their character or what they want to do because they're that invested. I think that's a blessing for most tables, and I think most tables probably have more players that, you know, when you ask the group, what do you want to do? Everybody kind of is timid. They're afraid to propose something or to speak up. And I have been really thinking about just Daggerheart and this system and my own tables a lot lately, and I'm left with this thought of like, we need more conversations at these tables. It really is starting to feel like the idea of an RPG is becoming more and more of like this strict board game that you have to play in these very specific ways with these very specific sequences, and nobody else can talk when it's not your turn, and you have to have this spotlight that is like perfectly balanced between everybody. When you might have players who don't even necessarily want to be in the spotlight, they're fine being a supporting character, but you're like, nah, everybody else, shush. It's this person's turn in the spotlight. Give me something cool. What are you going to do? Like that might not be fun for some people. And yeah, I don't know. And I also find it ironic this person then responded to a different person's comment in response to them. They were like, well, this is just human nature, what I'm describing. And my table, we're a bunch of mature adults. So it wasn't always that way, but now we're mature adults. And I was like, well, if they're all so mature, whoa, this guy's got such a mature table. Like, why do you need initiative in the first place? If you're playing with a bunch of your friends who you say they're adults, they should be able to handle anything, then you should be able to just play a game that's a little more freeform and allows you guys to have more back and forth conversations, right? It seems like you actually are doing a lot of controlling. The thing you said you didn't want to do, you are managing all of the personalities at your table by this strict adherence to initiative. Am I crazy in thinking this? I don't think so.